Oh, I see, I see.
No, the man. No, not here, this side.
Yeah, we're getting both sides. We're getting the whole picture here.
Meeting to order. It is now 5:30, and I see the quorum is present. Present is Vice Chair Alice Tyron, Commissioner Joe Mapas, Commissioner Carissa Pangilinan, Commissioner Tony Dimatauto, Commissioner Benny Pinala, Maria Pangilinan, our Executive Director, and Vince Macho, our Legal Counsel, is present. Excuse is Commissioner Pat Seville, who's also currently off island, right?
Yes.
Case certification?
Published November 11th and November 15th, sir.
Okay, let's go to the approval of agenda. I just want to remind the commissioners that we are live, this meeting is live on our Facebook page, correct?
Live stream on our webpage.
Webpage.
On our website.
No, that's not much.
That's YouTube.
YouTube. Approval of agenda. I know that the agenda was published as part of the notification. right?
So move. Second.
Okay, Commissioner McLaughlin is moved, second by Commissioner Pinala. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? To approve of the minutes, there's the August 26 minutes. Give you time to review. It's a short.
Move from the corporation.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Mapas to approve the minutes, seconded by Commissioner Montalto. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, let's go to correspondences.
Mr. Chair, on September 3rd, a letter came from the Vigilance Committee. It was addressed on October 6th. If you remember, I was off island, but it was addressed, and the Vigilance Committee included Bob Klitsky. He called us and told us it had to do with us listing the executive session and no subject on the executive session. I let him know we did not have one and we did not plan on one. It's just part of our regular agenda, and that we did not have enough details on our agenda. We addressed that and it's corrected now, sir.
Okay. Any questions on that? Okay, item B.
On September 15th, Ken Youngborough wrote to us about running as an independent candidate. The response is on page 11, and that response was based on advice from our legal counsel.
And he hasn't responded to that.
No, he's good.
The item C.
We've been talking with Peg Rosenberry of the U.S. Election Assistance Commission. We have funds from 2009, 2010, and 2011. When I came in 2011, we checked to see if we could get our hands on it. Unfortunately, at that time, they had required us to be able to handle persons with disabilities in every single precinct. So that meant buying 67 pieces of equipment. And for us at that time, the storage and buying of the equipment storage was a big challenge. After talking with, recently with U.S. Election Assistance Commission, they're going to allow us we have to update our state plan, and they're going to allow us to do 22 pieces of equipment for our 22 polling sites. So what we have to do at this point in time to get access to the 171,000 is update our state plan and put in our state plan that that's what we're going to do. That's the only thing that we cannot certify from before. When we do that, we can certify that we will be compliant with ADA.
Also it hinges on the state plan.
Yes.
Okay, any questions from the commission?
So storage isn't an issue for 22?
I'm sorry?
Storage is not an issue for only 22?
Well, one of the things, Commissioner Frissa, is that it would require extensive training with our precinct officials. Thank you for asking. We want to state it for 2024.
You will be too late for this, right?
But,
Yeah.
so Commissioner Joe and Anacita.
Because
we
of
need
the
to
training
train.
and all that.
Yeah,
So we're targeting it for 2024.
yes.
Okay, any further questions? Okay, let's go to item B.
We received a FOIA request from Mr. Troy Torres, and he was answered on page 15.
Okay, any questions? Let's go to item E.
Public auditor was looking about compliance with procurement training for our staff. And our response appears on page 17. We have 4 that have completed all the 4 modules, and 3 of us have completed 2 modules, awaiting for 2 more.
Questions? Let's go to item F.
So we were non-compliant with the submission. We related submitting our CCR, our citizen-centric report. We did submit it. It's on our website. So we're back in the good graces of the public auditor.
Is this a monthly?
Annual.
Annual?
Yeah,
And it depends on your audit.
yeah, so it needs to come out, it needs to be sent to the public auditor. Certain time after the government of Guam audit is completed.
Okay, any questions? Let's go to item G.
Kudos to our acting director. I heard her testimony. We did a really good job on bills number 173 and 174. It should be in session this November.
Okay.
Did we get the revised one?
Did we get the revised? No.
Not,
No,
no,
no.
not the substituted.
Okay, any questions on item G? Let's go to item H.
Mr. Ken again requested about village meetings for initiatives. We answered him on page 30. Or 31. No, page 29 was his thing. I'm sorry, page 29. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions? Let's go to item H. Item I.
The U.S. Federal Election Commission requires our congressional delegate and candidates to file with them electronically and to submit a copy of every filing, a hard copy of every filing to Guam Election Commission. Well, there's a waiver program where they can, where if we're set up, we set up a computer here that the public can get access to, and then they don't have, the congressional delegate and candidates don't have to submit a hard copy to us. We sign a certification that says we've met the requirements of the Federal Election Commission. So I asked the board if you want to go through the waiver program. This means that the filing dates for them changes with us. If we do the waiver program with them, they don't have to file anything with us. Right now, they still have to file, and we have them filing to meet our deadlines. And it's normally in sync.
Do they, the congressional candidates, do they file, I know we have our own election commission report. Do they file it, the FEC has their online report. Currently, do they file both?
No.
Just the FEC?
Yeah, sometimes they file our organizational report. That's the only thing they may file that we, on a GEC form. Everything else is FEC.
Yeah. Question?
Maria, I know that we had a discussion, gosh, might have been during our late colleague's time, Mr. Paris, with regard, and it could have been with Attorney Seville as well, with regard to the filing and the enforcement. Like we have no enforcement, we have enforcement authority over the congressional delegate not fulfilling certain requirements. I believe there, I'm so sorry, I can't remember. I know that we had a discussion about that, and that's something that we were looking to, we were seeking potential legislation on. You know what I'm talking about, right?
They have, as long as they meet FEC requirements, that fulfills the requirements for GEC. So that was the issue that was brought up, back then is the GEC able to sort of review the FEC reports and enforce the Guam election provisions based upon the FEC reports, but the FEC reports is not as detailed as the GEC, so that was the discussion whether we could do that, and I think Commissioner Seville was thinking probably not. It was the FEC's jurisdiction.
There was something in the law,
In our law?
in our law. Maria, you have to remember what it,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'll take it up with you later on. I just know that there was something in the law, this was several years back, and our hands were tied. We had no authority to implement or to fine, I think, or to sanction the delegate because there was something in the law that indicated just the feds. It was just something to do with the feds. I don't know if Lizzie, you recall that, but let's take it up. We'll take it up afterwards, and then we can bring it to the commissioners again later. I know Attorney Seville might remember that discussion, but just make a note of that.
I mean, I know the public has access online to the FEC reports of every candidate, but legal counsel is correct. The FEC reports are not as detailed. As far as the fact you don't report anything 250 and below. And there's a lot of gaps. I know they audited it, but there's a lot of gaps in those reports, unlike our report.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be all happy to know that the FEC is fully boarded.
Wait, what?
Just recently, they.
Yeah, because they didn't have-
They
they didn't have
they couldn't do
commission
anything
members.
before
Yeah.
because it wasn't full, they
Yeah.
didn't have a quorum.
Right.
So I just got notice from Kogo that they're finally all on board.
But previously, didn't they have to file a Guam election brief report and a FEC report? As far back as maybe 2016 and earlier? No.
No, they just had to file their
FEC,
report.
a copy of the
Yeah.
FEC too.
I think there were, when they're switching
Local-
offices, yeah.
From a local to a regional. Okay. But yeah, that's a good point.
So how about, do we go through the waiver program or, no? Wait, table?
Well, I don't know, what's the feeling of the commission?
Is it gonna benefit the GEC if we do this?
Well, you won't get the report, you'll have to look it up
Yeah.
on FEC versus now, with no waiver, we actually have to sort of give you guys a copy.
And I'm personally for not waiving,
You know,
state fire.
keep it, support. You know, do we need a motion?
Probably,
For,
for this, for the.
For the waiver.
That's for,
yeah, I mean, it should go on the record.
So is there a
Mr. Chairman, I'll move a motion,
motion to,
not keep the waiver.
so there's a motion on the floor by Commissioner Canalo to
Not to participate.
not participate in the state fire waiver program. Is there a second to that motion?
So just for clarification, if we do not participate, it remains as is.
Yes.
If we
Requirements
participate,
apply.
the requirements apply.
yes.
If we participate, what occurs is they will not be, whoever's going to run for delegate will not report,
Have to file
they would file with them.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm
For us to have access, you would have to have a
Right.
computer. or-
So the motion is to,
decline the waiver at this time.
State fire waiver program. The motion is to decline or not participate in the state fire waiver. The second? Second. So Commissioner Canalo made a motion, seconded by Commissioner Hoffman. Is there further discussion on the motion? Those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's adopted. Okay, let's go to item J.
So the day I came in, I received this notice of a government claim. It has to do with after-hours air conditioning. I sent it directly to my our legal counsel, and so we're working on it. The bid that went out for this time frame says that they should give us, they should not charge us for air conditioning past 6 o'clock for public meetings. And so I think, I'm thinking that the problem was the definition of public meetings between GCIC and us. So we're working with that with the legal counsel. This includes like in-office voting too. So Helen has gone through it item by item, and she's told, and we're working with them, we'll have the report to Vince, and we're working on it. When it comes up to 63,000 from 2018 to 2021.
Oh, so they filed to collect. Commissioner Vice Chair.
so all the invoices here, you've gone back, I just want to be sure I understand this correctly, and you've looked at our hours, right, to see if we're there and to verify.
That's what you did at night for holding out.
That was never an issue before, right?
Well, they couldn't file a government claim during the actual procurement period, right? So they had to wait until after the contract was done to file a claim. Otherwise, they would have filed it in the procurement.
Okay, so.
This is sort of an extension of outside the procurement. So they're doing the same thing that DOL actually was in the same situation, but it was for lease payments, where the budget year ended, so they could not pay, right? Because the budget, prior year appropriations. And so DOL told them to file a government claim. So I think that's what they're doing in this situation, just to collect.
Okay, well, keep us updated on it.
Well, they're charging us all the way to the year 2028.
2021.
If you look at number 3, 10/31/28,
Yeah.
at $4,000.
Oh my gosh.
Can actually cross that one
Let's
out.
get through
Guam can
2022
free pay.
Can I in advance?
All right, now we're down to 59.
There you go. Saved you a whole bunch of money there, Maria.
Thank you, Commissioner Manning.
Okay, any further discussion on that? Keep us updated. Okay, let's go to Executive Director's report.
Mr. Chair, we're now in 2022 mode. We have our timeline. We also have prepared candidate packets. You know we have a bunch of them. All we did was update them. We have copies of all of them right here for the different seats. We simply just updated them based on, the seats and for 2022, mostly the dates. We will be prepared should the legislature change anything. We will come to you and let you know what we have to change. But we're looking for the board to approve the candidate packets with technical corrections. We can give you, you can peruse yourselves with all that. I think most of you have seen these many times. And throughout the years, we've made we don't have any updates except dates on these ones. Right?
So you need us to approve the
Yes.
candidate packets?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve subject to correction.
These are the candidate packets for,
2022.
all races.
Yes. Yeah, Mr. Chair, we normally have them ready for January. We'll ask you to, we'll approve the timeline, so we start issuing them in January. What we want to do is start making the copies now.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor to approve the candidate packets, subject to corrections, by Commissioner Pinal, seconded by Commissioner Matata.
So Maria, once that's approved, you can start making copies or whatever?
That's the motion.
We don't issue it out, sir, until January.
I don't understand that. That's what I'm saying, once it's approved, it's ready for January.
Yes. One of the things that I guess I should bring up now is, and I've brought it up in the past, about making these packets available online. Huh? Oh, yeah, last election we kind of did because of COVID.
Yeah.
So,
We're still in COVID.
yeah, and it's, for the candidates, it's much easier.
You just PDF that thing and put it
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, so I think it should be.
We do keep track though, Maria, of who requests for the packet. So if we have it online, are you setting a system up where?
Yes. Who downloads?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yes,
Yeah.
so the way it works last election is they fill out a form on our website that asks for whoever is requesting it, and if they name also whoever the potential candidate is, and then their contact information, and that log is also posted on our website, which is what the practice was when people come in to pick up a hard copy. We always post the log so the public is aware of who's picking up packets. So the same process would happen online. They would still have to fill out their information.
Yeah, I don't see how that would change from last year.
You guys okay with that?
Yeah. Okay, so the motion,
We will motion to put the candidate packets electronically on the website. Again, obtain the necessary information for access to the packets.
second by Commissioner Gonzalez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Good.
For volunteer voter registrars, we continue to have training every third Wednesday of the month, 1 to 4. We have a report on page 37 that so far we have 59. I wanted to inform you that most of our new registrants are coming from DMV.
Where?
DMV. And the DMV report is on page 39. So DMV went online for driver's license renewals, and when they went online, Motor Voter also went online with them.
Mr. Chair, I was looking at your timeline here, and all these tentative dates for the candidate seminar, so these are all tentative. When are we going to make sure?
When I'm ready to finalize it, I'll ask you guys to approve the
But
time.
this is the day that you're plugging into. the-
Right now, yes.
So you're
It's
ready
not
yet?
approved yet, sir.
Okay.
You didn't approve it yet. That's why it's tentative.
I just want to make sure, because,
Thank you.
Is the legislature attempting to change the primary date?
Yes.
they are.
Yeah,
but they
That's-
haven't-
That's,
change
yes, that's basically why it's super tentative.
Marie, what does QVT stand for?
Yeah, what is that?
That's our,
So your internal?
no, that's the program that we have at UOG for our registration.
Okay, so it's
Vice Chair?
It's an acronym?
what is it? What is Q for?
It's, I don't remember, do you remember? We don't remember, it's voter something.
Okay.
It's from the 80s.
Oh,
Okay.
Sorry,
so this is a program at the University of Guam.
that belongs to the university.
Okay, so we're not losing our information, right?
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay. We're using a new system, a new platform,
We're making our own, we're almost ready. We should be ready by next month.
we've been at this for like years.
That's really
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Item B?
Esta, I'm sorry,
The online.
I went, yeah, so, we're at 4894. And it's low compared to last time. Number of voters.
Okay.
And I already talked about, sorry,
I didn't see.
motor voter.
Item D?
Yes, so, our financial reports, Mr. Chair, we are anticipating requesting that we go for a supplemental. And the bottom line amount, the smallest amount is 275,000. If you remember, our request was for 1.9 million, and that was before early voting was passed. So when we went in for a public hearing for early voting, we estimated the cost of early voting to be 275,000. So we're anticipating going into asking for permission to go before the legislature to ask for more money. We're fine tuning it because, and again, we want, we want to wait until after the November session to figure out what they're going to do with everything else. But the smallest amount is 275. Tomas and I were talking, and it's going to be a little more for other things.
And the early voting is 30 days? report?
Yes, 30 days. And this would, for the supplemental will cover the primary. We're also simultaneously preparing the fiscal year 2023 budget
Yeah.
with that in mind.
The general election. Okay.
Do we need to vote on that?
No, not yet. I'm not ready to tell you how much. Thank you.
It may, it will. Okay. Any further discussion? Let's go to item E.
We finished reviewing 2020, sir. There's a report on page, a small memo on page 43. Most of the discrepancies were on when they were filed. And the staff, we have said that a lot of it has to do with COVID. And so we didn't find any major discrepancies. We're okay with 2020 campaign finance reports. Yes, you can see our reviews. We review everyone. We have a summary for each one. You're welcome to take a look at it.
Okay. Any discussions? Let's go to item F.
The public official FES, as far as the full financial disclosure statements, everybody filed by October 19th. We still, if you notice at the back of the report, there are 78 that have yet to file conflict of interest. That mostly is because the Guam Election Commission, and maybe even the Guam Ethics Commission, we don't have a good handle as to how many of the boards and commissions' terms have expired. And so, hopefully with the Guam Ethics Commission on board, they can figure that out and let us know how to deal with it. As far as we're concerned, as far as the law is concerned, we're still the repository for these reports.
Yeah.
We do send them now to the Guam Ethics Commission.
Any discussion? Okay, let's go to old business.
Would you like to do the evaluation at the next meeting so I can set an executive session for you to do my evaluation?
Would that'll be in December?
Yes, ma'am.
December.
You might be in
Your business president?
your business president.
Might be, yeah,
Yeah.
opportunity, but we have to make sure that we are in compliance, the review is supposed to be annual. But we can attest that it's COVID, so.
Yeah. You don't want to receive a letter from the attorney.
The law doesn't allow for, if you don't do it, that person can be taken out of the job.
And we've postponed this,
So we'll do it, we can do it in December, right?
Yeah.
So I'll set it up because it has
Set it up
to
for
be.
December.
Okay, thank you.
And Pat should be back next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully, because we don't know what other part, right?
Okay.
You just leave message.
Okay, let's go to legal counsel's report.
We don't have any pending litigation, thank God. We're all done.
Good.
job.
Wow.
Good.
We're winning.
We got,
And we won all of them.
Yes.
We want what?
We won
All
all
of
of
them.
them.
Oh, can we get money for your fees?
Okay.
Money well spent.
Public comments? No public? So the next meeting, we will schedule for December 16th.
That's up there
That's a
Thursday.
Thursday at 5:30. Here at the Commissioner's office, Commissioner office. Here at the Election Commission office. Okay, just before we adjourn, I just want to commend Liz and the staff in Maria's absence. I think they did a remarkable job
Awesome.
moving everybody.
Wow,
Facility, I mean, it's
Good
all
job, Liz.
organized and in place. I mean, I don't know how it's worked out so far, but it looks pretty accommodating.
Very professional.
So good job.
So I can leave it now.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got backup?
Okay, any further business for the commission? Being none, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, there's a motion, second.
Second.
Great, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, our next meeting will be Thursday, December 16th at 5:30 here at the commission office. Thank you.
Thank you.
6:04 p.m.
Enjoy it now, because next year.